He said it without looking at me, like I was furniture, like I'd already been erased. "Get your junk out of this office," the new 24-year-old MBA said, arms crossed, smirk sharp enough to cut glass. "We're rebranding." Rebranding? I watched his reflection in the glass wall instead of watching him directly. He liked seeing himself, liked angles, liked power. Liked the feeling of replacing someone older, quieter, more experienced. He didn't know the office wasn't mine. It wasn't his either. It belonged to someone else entirely, someone who trusted me far more. Still, I didn't speak. I inhaled once, slow, steady, letting the insult settle on my skin like dust. On the outside, I looked calm. Inside, something shifted. Not anger, not fear, something colder. A single thought, interesting. He was still talking, words dripping arrogance, but I already wasn't listening. My phone buzzed in my pocket, one vibration. A message, her name lit up the screen. I read the text. And suddenly the room wasn't just hostile, it was tilting. A quiet confession, a truth she'd been holding back. A truth sharp enough to draw blood without touching me. My pulse slowed. My thoughts didn't. Two betrayals, crossing each other like blades in the dark. I set the phone down, stared at the MBA's grin. The moment froze, and everything that would come next felt inevitable. Her message replayed in my mind as the kid snapped his fingers at an intern. "We need to talk. I haven't been honest with you." But I didn't answer her. Not yet. I tucked the phone into my pocket like it was evidence in a case I hadn't opened. Betrayal doesn't arrive loudly. It seeps. Small inconsistencies, strange pauses, late replies, a silence that feels rehearsed. I'd sensed something for weeks, maybe months. She smiled the same, but her eyes didn't hold. She hugged me, but her body leaned away. She said she loved me, but the words felt like empty envelopes, no letters inside. And now the envelope had ripped open. When she walked into the office that same afternoon, her face carried a look I'd never seen on her before, like fear and guilt had fused, and she didn't ask why I hadn't replied. She didn't ask if I'd read it. She just said, too quietly, "We should talk tonight." I nodded, slowly, almost gently, because deep inside, denial was already collapsing. Pieces of the puzzle began to rearrange themselves with cruel clarity. The group dinners, the sudden work emergencies, the way her phone, I watched her cross the room, watched her glance at the new MBA, watched him glance back. A flicker, barely visible, but I saw it, and something in me crystallized. She left without looking back. He kept smirking. I stood alone in my not office, chest hollowed out, mind sharpening. Two betrayals. Two people who thought I wasn't watching. I didn't confront her that night. I let her speak, fumbling explanations, half-truths, rehearsed lines. I listened like a surgeon listens to a heartbeat before cutting open the chest. She said she felt distant, that she needed to be honest, that she hoped we could stay friends. Friends? I didn't break, didn't rage, didn't beg. I told her I understood. Her relief was immediate, too immediate. That was my confirmation. After she slept, I started my quiet investigation. Not revenge, truth. The kind you can't argue with, can't distort, can't deny. Phone records, locations, photos synced to cloud folders she forgot existed. Every step I took was slow, methodical, surgical, and then I found it. A video, accidental, recorded by her pocket, her voice, his voice, laughing, whispering, planning weekends that never included me. The MBA wasn't just ambitious. He was strategic in the worst way, stealing her, stealing my position, stealing my silence. They thought I'd crumble, but I only grew calmer. The next morning, I arrived at the office early. Earlier than anyone. Walked past the empty desk of the MBA. Sat in the conference room with the not shaking, not heartbroken, just clear. I made a single call. Not to her, not to him. To the real owner of the parking lot, the absentee CEO who trusted me with more than the company knew. I told him what was happening with the lease, with the rebranding, with the kid assuming power that wasn't his. He didn't hesitate. "Handled," he said. 10 minutes later, I heard the tow truck outside. Metal hooking metal, a roar, a struggle, and then a scream, "What are you doing?" I stepped out of the building. The driver pointed straight at me. "The owner revoked your lease. All cars go." The MBA's Ferrari lifted into the air. He spun toward me, face pale, voice cracking. "Did you do this?" I didn't answer, because the real reveal hadn't happened yet. I handed him the tablet. No context, no anger, just the screen facing him. He stared at the video, his voice whispering to her, laughing about promotions, about replacing me, about using her for leverage. His knees buckled. Literally buckled. He looked up at me as if seeing a ghost. You knew. I didn't blink long enough. His face collapsed into something twisted, shame mixed with fear, like a mask melting off. You can't show this to. I already did. He choked on the air. I watched him process the truth. Her involvement was revealed, but without her name attached. She wasn't my target, only him. He looked at his Ferrari dangling from the truck like a gutted animal. He looked at me, and he realized the hierarchy had never changed. He had only imagined. I walked him to the edge of the parking lot, not to threaten him, to watch him crumble. He begged, not loudly, quietly, frantically, as if whispering would soften the humiliation. I'm sorry, he said. I didn't mean for this to happen. He meant every step of it until it backfired. This doesn't have to ruin me, he whispered. It already did. He looked like a child then, small, unraveled. The tow truck rolled away with his car, his status symbol, his shield. I stepped back. You replaced the wrong person, I said. Nothing more. He collapsed onto the curb, head in his hands, future dissolving around him. And I walked away, leaving him exactly where he had tried to put me, outside. Powerless. Exposed. Didn't go home. I didn't text her. I didn't check if she was crying or apologizing or rewriting history in her mind. I took the long way back through the city, watching lights flicker across wet pavement, each reflection sharper than the last. People think betrayal breaks you. It doesn't, it empties you, and in the hollow space, clarity grows like frost. I wasn't angry at her anymore. Anger requires attachment. What I felt now was simpler. Nothing. A quiet, precise nothing. The kind that finally gives you space to breathe. When I reached my apartment, I deleted her messages without opening them. Some truths only need to be seen once. As I turned off the lights, the final realization settled in my chest with cold certainty. They thought they were playing a game. They forgot I designed the board. I closed my eyes. And the last thought I allowed myself was the quietest, most brutal one of all. I don't miss either of them.